This week of college football was one for the books. Upsets, 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 upsets. You know I got to talk about it. You know I got to. Saturday Roundup coming up next.
It's time for the Saturday Roundup.
Let's start this thing off, man. Number 25, Texas A&M. Welcome number 9, Missouri, to College Station, Texas. And boy, did they ever welcome them. Boy, man, listen, I don't think nobody was expecting this. Nobody. Man, shout out to DC from Auburn Addicts. He said Missouri would be the team that would surprise everyone this year. He was not high on Missouri. He was not high on Missouri. And I got to give him his credit for that. This game, low-key kind of proved it. It low-key kind of proved it. Now, at the beginning of the game, if that pass interference was called at the beginning of the game, would this be a different game? Would the outcome of this game would have been different if that pass interference would have been called? And Missouri would have had the ball inside the 10-yard line with a chance to score. And maybe this game would have turned out differently because they would have went downfield on the first drive and scored. Well, that didn't happen. But boy, let me tell you what did happen. This is what happened right here. Texas A&M put up 512 yards of total offense in this game. 276 passing yards, 236 rushing yards. To me, that sounds like a very balanced game to me, if you ask me. Texas A&M dominated this game from start to finish. That's all I can say. Texas A&M looked really good in this game. And as it sits right now, they are one of the undefeated teams in SEC play in the SEC conference. Could Texas A&M be the favorite to win the SEC championship this year? Could it be Texas A&M and Texas in the SEC championship game? We'll see, but Texas got to play Georgia. Texas got to play Georgia. Texas got to play Georgia, but we'll see. We'll see what happens though, man. All I'm saying is, man, Connor Wegman got the start at the beginning of the game. I actually thought Texas A&M was going to win this game. To be honest with you, I took Texas A&M minus the points and on the money line in this game. But I thought it was going to be because of Marcel Reed. I just enjoy the way the young man plays. I thought he gave them a nice boost to this team, especially what he did at Florida a couple of weeks back, and he leading his team to a 3-0 record with Connor Wegman out. So I thought he would at least get the start. Connor Wegman came in and started throwing that thing all over the field, letting people know why he's going to be a draft pick come April. But, congratulations, Texas A&M. I think Missouri is still a formidable team. Bubba from Bubba and the Old Man Sports Talk said that Missouri was a second-tier team in the SEC. He might be right. But what does that make Texas A&M, though? Is Texas A&M a top-tier team? Did they just have the wrong coach? Oh, my God. Mike Elko. Oh, is Mike Elko coming in doing what everybody thought Jimbo would do? Hey, this is going to be great, man. This is good, man. This is what makes college football good. This is what makes college football good. Yeah. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. I'm not talking about my cousin. But the number 1 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, took a L to the Vanderbilt Commodores. Now, this is history. This is history. Vanderbilt has not beaten an AP-ranked top 5 team in school history. How does it feel to make history, Alabama? To be the first team to lose, to be the first AP top-ranked team to lose to Vanderbilt. Boy, Man, let me tell you, bro. This game was on right around the same time Auburn and Georgia was on. So I was kind of flipping back and forth, but I had more of my attention to the Auburn Georgia game. Man, look at this, man. Total yards. Vanderbilt 418. Alabama 394. Passing yards. Vanderbilt 252 to Alabama's 310. Rushing yards. Look at this. Look at this. Rushing yards. Vanderbilt 166 to Alabama's 84 total rushing yards in the game. Time of possession. 42 minutes for Vanderbilt and right at 18 minutes for Alabama. Tight Sports said it last week, man. Alabama be scoring too fast sometimes. They don't get a defense time to rest. Maybe that's the reason why Georgia was able to come back on Alabama last week, because they were too tired. Offense was scoring so fast, the defense right back on the field. Maybe that's what it was. But listen to this, man. Vanderbilt is a good team. They lost to Georgia State. Yes, they lost to Georgia State. 36-32, if I'm not mistaken. But every team, let's take that 1 week that every team has in the season to where they just fumble that week. It's either they win the game, but they win it ugly, or they lose a game that they are supposed to win, that they are supposed to lose. Let's just take that out of the equation. Vanderbilt's a good team. Diego Pavia, Jerry Kill, man, listen, that's the same duo that came into Jordan Hare Stadium last year and beat Auburn with a New Mexico State team. Diego Pavia got something against the state of Alabama. He got something against the state of Alabama. He's beaten both Alabama schools, both big-time Alabama schools. He's beaten both of them. Vanderbilt's dangerous. Vanderbilt is dangerous. Shout out to Tez from over at the Sharpshooters podcast, man. Tez made a statement at the beginning of the season, and I'm paraphrasing this because this is not the complete statement. He made a statement saying that he said that without Nick Saban, Alabama, I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. Nick Saban was the reason why Alabama won at least 2 or 3 games this season. And I had to think about that, and I was like, "How? What do you mean by that?" Basically, before the game was even played, during the week, Nick Saban had his team mentally focused and physically ready to go play a game like this. It's just set up perfectly because you played a big game against Georgia that was hyped up to be a big game, but then you come back against a team that you think is inferior in Vanderbilt, in Vanderbilt, and now you have to get back up to play that game. Nick Saban was a master at manipulating his team, making them think that they was always the underdog. I think he called it rat poison a little bit. But, Nick Saban was the reason why Alabama won a lot. Watching that game, I understand. You got to go back and see I'm probably misquoting it, but you got to go back and see what Ted said in the Sharpshooters podcast. I can't remember what episode it was, but it was before the season started. But he said it, and when he said that, it made a lot of sense. And I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense. Where when I think about it, I had to think about it. I was like, man, that makes sense. But man, Vanderbilt 3-2. I'm telling you, man, this Vanderbilt team is scary. It is scary. You have to look at them now. You have to look at them. But down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The Deep South's oldest rivalry was played yesterday. Auburn traveled to Sanford Stadium in Athens to play the Georgia Bulldogs, the 5th-ranked team in the country. And Auburn lost. Auburn is now 2-4, 0-3 in the conference. Georgia's 4-1. Final score ended up being 13 Auburn, 31 Georgia. This was not a dominant win by Georgia. Congratulations, Georgia, for winning the game. But Georgia didn't look dominant in this game. The score is not indicative of how this game played. This was a 14-3 game at halftime. And then right out of halftime, Auburn got a 3-and-out, if I'm not mistaken, and then went down the field and scored and made this a 14-10 game. And then going into the fourth quarter, it was a 21-10 game with Auburn marching down the field on a fourth down to start the fourth quarter. That if they converted, Auburn probably scores on that drive because they were moving the ball. But didn't convert the fourth down. I don't know what it was. According to Hugh Freeze says it was a dive play to the left, but it looked like an option read play. Then he's saying Peyton Thorne changed the play at the line. I don't know. I honestly don't know what is going on right now with Auburn. It's just self-inflicted wounds that Auburn can't get out of its own way. Auburn can't get out of his own way. But then when you clear one hurdle with Auburn, then another problem pops up. Like you look at it and be like, all right, Peyton Thorne turning the ball over too much. Okay. Peyton Thorne does not has a turnover free game. But then the defense gives up 381 total yards offense, which is under 400 yards. Pretty good. 240 yards passing, 141 yards rushing on the ground. But the big play down the sideline to where Ken Lee was over there covering the guy on the sideline. The big play is given up. I don't know if it was just a perfect pass. I don't know if it was just a perfectly placed pass or a better catch. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have always had a problem with Auburn DBs playing the man instead of playing the ball. Play the ball, get the ball at its highest point, play the ball, take the ball away. We want to take the ball away. But you know what it is, man. The stats read, man. Georgia 381 yards total offense, 240 passing, 141 rushing. Time of possession 31 minutes. Auburn 337 yards of total offense, 200 yards passing, 137 yards rushing. Time of possession 28 minutes of time of possession. You're looking at these stats. Based on the stats, this game was winnable for Auburn. This was an evenly played game. This game was not dominated by Georgia at all. The score is very indicative. It's not indicative of how the game was played. Auburn had a bunch of missed opportunities. Georgia did too. Let's just be honest with you. Georgia had some missed opportunities as well. But Auburn had a lot more missed opportunities. That's why I picked Auburn to win this game in the beginning of in the beginning of the week last week, because I was saying, man, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, it's not that much that Auburn is missing. It's just little things, man. It's little things. It's situational football, certain decisions in certain moments of the game to where you like, yo, if this was this, if you change this to this, we have a different outcome. Auburn's not that far off, man. But the problem is the little things. It's the little things that cause you to that cause the situations to be bigger than what they actually are. It's the little things. Man, it's so frustrating, man. And it's just frustrating as an Auburn fan that you have to go through this every week, because you look at it as a fan and somebody that halfway knows football, and you look at it and be like, man, it's the little things. The little things. Man, hopefully we can fix those little things to where those little things will not cause us to lose the game. But man, so frustrating. So frustrating. Woo! Finally, the Tennessee Volunteers, they traveled to Fayetteville, Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks. Oh boy. Shout out to the defensive coordinator at Arkansas, T. Will, Travis Williams, man. He schemed up a pretty good defense against this Tennessee team, excuse me. The same Tennessee team that went to Oklahoma and put up 25 points against the Oklahoma defense. That's supposed to be one of the best defenses in the country. Supposed to be one of the best defenses. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were averaging like 14. They was only giving them like 14 points a game coming into Auburn. So that's a pretty good defense. You only giving up 14 points a game. You pretty good. You top tier. You in the top tier. Offense, they got to get the offense going, but that's gonna come. Michael Hawkins Jr. They'll be all right. They'll be all right at Oklahoma. But this Tennessee offense went to Norman, Oklahoma, by the way, and put up 25 points against that defense. They only put up 14 against this Arkansas defense. T. Will was cooking. T. Will was cooking. Arkansas got the win, man. A big upset. 19-14. Arkansas with the win, man. Total yards in this game. Let's look at the stats, man. Arkansas 431 to Tennessee's 332. Arkansas had more passing yards, 297 to Tennessee's 158. Rushing yards, Arkansas's 134 to Tennessee's 174. Time of possession, Arkansas held the ball almost 9 minutes more than Tennessee, 35 and a half minutes to 24 and a half minutes. T. Will was cooking. At halftime, the score was 3-0. It was 3-0 at halftime. T. Will's defense was cooking. It was cooking. You're going to put some respect on T. Will's name. Put some respect on T. Will's name. Arkansas went and got a win. That's what Arkansas did. Good teams can go get a win when need be. That's what good teams do. When they need to get a win, they will do it. Back in the day, Arkansas wouldn't have done that. Arkansas would not have gotten that win back in the day. I mean, when I say back in the day, let's just say a year or two ago, Arkansas wouldn't have gotten that win. But something's clicked. And now Arkansas is a team that knows how to win. Taylor Green, as much as Arkansas fans don't like, I don't know if they don't like Taylor Green. I think they just like the inconsistencies of Taylor Green. That's what I'm gonna say. They don't like the inconsistencies of Taylor Green. But he got hurt in this game. And I believe the backup quarterback came in and and helped lead this team to a win as well. Helped them get that that last touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Because let's be honest, Tennessee let him score on that last touchdown because Tennessee thought they can get the ball and come back down and score. They let him score on that last touchdown. Dude running in the end zone. The defender did this. He just let him slide by. I'm like, what you doing, bro? Like, oh, they let him score. Arkansas knows how to win when they want to. That's how I'm gonna put it back. Look, Arkansas is a good enough team to where they can get you in. They are 4-2 right now. 2 games away from being bowl eligible. Can Arkansas win 7 games? I think they can. Can Arkansas win 8 games? It's a possibility. I don't follow Arkansas like that for real, all the way, like I should be. But I'm gonna start looking at them a lot more intently now. But the dichotomy to that is the flip side to that is, how does this affect Tennessee? I was looking at college football final or SEC football final, and Tennessee's chance of making the playoffs dropped drastically. Like they were at like 70-something%, and now it's saying that the predictability said they're below 50% to make the playoffs with this loss to Arkansas. Man, this is interesting. Any given Saturday in the SEC, you can lose. And you're seeing that right now. Any given Saturday in the SEC, you can lose. Hey, man, that's why they say it just means more. That will do it for episode 6 of the Saturday Roundup, man. Thank you so much for watching these as always. Thank you so much for sharing it. Thank you so much for being a part of the Water Cooler Talk podcast family, man. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell to know when we post videos, man. Thank you so much for rocking with me here, man. We appreciate you, man. As always, man, y'all have a good one. Y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. One.